Good evening, folks. Just a quick video for you tonight. On this item I purchased on eBay. You've probably seen from other videos that I'm a bit of a retro gamer, or getting back into retro gaming, I should say. And while searching on eBay, during a random, inputting some random stuff, this item came up. £9.99, including UK delivery, brand new, and I thought it was worth a punt, so I'll show you. Item comes with, well, the item itself, it came with this video lead, which I have tried and it doesn't work, and I've got it plugged in just now, but it's just a standard micro B to USB A connector. We get some instructions and a couple of cartridges, and I will show you the main item, which comes in this little drawstring bag, cheap as anything, but as I say, it was £9.99 including delivery. And it's the PXP3 Slim Station, which is essentially a SEGA Mega Drive emulator. I'll just talk you through it before we turn it on. So we've got our standard D-pad, some other buttons here. We've got a reset, select and start buttons on the front. Not interestingly, but these two top buttons don't function. Obviously, it doesn't take a rocket science to see that this was modelled on the PSP sort of format. On the bottom, we've got power, volume, and a charge and power LED. It's dual colour, red for charging, green for power on. And on the top, we have AV out, a cartridge slot, and the charging connector. I will start off by saying I have tried the AV connector and it doesn't work. I don't know why. It may be that I do a teardown on this at some point, maybe even after this video, and we'll have a look inside and see if there's any fault. I've tested the cable using multimeter continuity, it's all checks out, so I think the problem is internal to this. On the back, where our UMD slot would be on the PSP, we have a battery cover, and there is a small 3.7 volt, 700 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. Actually, onto this, the thing itself, it's just cheap plastic, but like I say, it was £9.99. But the good thing about it is it works, and it actually works quite well, which I'm very surprised about. I haven't taken the screen protector off, which is why it might look a bit grey, but when I turn it on, which I'll do now, you'll see that it is a fairly good quality screen. There we go. I'll just bring it up to the camera. Yeah, it's pretty good. So as you can see there, there's some fairly big name games from back in the day. Interestingly, Angry Birds. Now that clearly isn't a port from Sega as far as I'm aware. I don't think that was ever out back in the day. I might be wrong, please comment if I am wrong. But we'll quickly go through the games. It does say, nearly 1 million games, but in reality, I think it's about 80 games that just keep 80 games that just keep repeating themselves. So I'll just stick this up here and I'll scroll through and I'll point out any notable titles. Obviously Sonic, there's the classic. Super Skid Marks, which is always a good game on the Amiga. Big one for me is Cannon Fodder. Yeah, probably my all-time favourite game on the Amiga. Very close to Monkey Island and Sensible Soccer maybe, but yeah, Cannon Fodder, top game. Echo, there we go. Desert Strike, another good Amiga game. Anything good on there? Not really, in my opinion. I know some of you would probably scream and goes, "Oh, I can't believe you never mentioned Captain Planet," or whatever, but yeah, each to their own. Any good on there? Golden Axe. Mario Hockey, never even heard of that one. Toy Story, yeah, I don't know how old that is. Was that on the Mega Drive? Again, comment or I could just Google it, I suppose. And then we're back, as you see, it's now 81, and it's back to the start, 82 Angry Birds again. So yeah, so presumably up about, what do we see? Yeah, it's just constantly repeating itself up to, you know, nearly a million. We've got additionally, which I'll go through. In fact, sorry, before I do go on to the next cartridge, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. Horrific. Okay, so onto the cartridges then. Now, there is something really quite interesting about these cartridges, which I'll show you in a moment. So inserting the cartridge, 900,001, tallies up with what's on the screen. Thank God I've got no Don't Cry For Me Argentina anymore, but it's still not the best. Some good games on here again. Sensible Soccer, of course, which I just mentioned a minute ago. James Bond, Alex Kidd, Tetris, Columns, of course, a massive Sega classic game. Probably my favourite, you know, maybe controversial, but my favourite Sega game was Columns. I always remember playing that. Sensible Soccer. So back again, so that was just, you know, maybe 40 games on this cartridge. And on this one, which is 999666 in one, yeah, I haven't a clue what that is, but we've got Simpsons on there, Addams Family, Zool, another classics Amiga game, Double Dragon there. We got James Pond, brilliant game. Simpsons again. So 50 games, about 180 games altogether. Now, let's say I was going to show you something interesting, and I've actually opened one of these cartridges. I can't remember what one it was now. Yeah, it was this one. If we just go into this cartridge, you'd think maybe some sort of chip on board or maybe some form of memory. No, absolutely not. There is nothing in this cartridge, which I will show you. If I can get the damn thing out. Ah, there we go. Just open the whole thing. So we've got this massive plastic case, a massive, but you know, rather big case, and all that's in it is a little bit of PCB, fibre PCB, with a cartridge style connector and some empty pads for some surface mount devices, passive devices. Absolutely nothing, no semiconductors or anything. There is zero inside this. So what I can only presume is this is loaded up with 180 games, and depending on what pads are connected, you know, the PXP will you know, will put the relevant menu on. So yeah, quite interesting. So that I was wondering if there's maybe a way we can just use one of these cartridges or modify, you know, just put something in there with a couple of switches. So if you want to use cartridge 1, you flick one switch, and you know, if you want to use cartridge 2, you flick another, or you know, something like that. So back to the actual device itself. Let's say it's called the PXP3 Slim Station, and we'll go to, let's say, my favourite game, Cannon Fodder. Hit start. Now the graphics in this is you know, I won't say unbelievable, but the graphics are really good. You know, quite accurate. But as you can probably hear, the sound emulation isn't so good. Now it may be that, obviously, like I say, I had this on the Amiga. I don't know what the Sega version of Cannon Fodder was like, but it doesn't sound anything like the Amiga version. But we'll just go ahead and have a quick game. Obviously the first mission, the Sensible Initiation. So go for it. Just going to use the D-pad on here. This bottom button here is fire, and the one to the top left of that is move. So obviously not as easy as point and click with the Amiga version. but still quite playable. So quite a good viewing angle on it as well. I don't know how well that comes up, but it is quite a good viewing angle on this display. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'll just turn it off now. Yeah, $9.99 for this. It's available on eBay, anywhere between a tenner and 15 quid, and the lots of the Chinese websites, AliExpress and Deal Extreme and all those types of places sell it. It's not going to win any awards, but for the money, I think it's an ideal little console to take if you're on a train. How long the battery lasts, I'm not sure. I don't imagine it'll be that long. Only time will tell. But again, you get, everybody's got like a battery pack they carry around to charge their phones and that. And like I've already said, a lot of these games you'll remember from the Amiga, and that's what kind of sold it to me. Because there's a lot of like Cannon Fodder and Zool and James Pond and that, games I remember as a kid, and I still enjoy playing. So hopefully this will fulfill the role. Any questions, drop me a line. I'll try and answer them the best I can. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want. Thanks again. Bye bye.